Hello everyone, Matt Benson, Central Plains Weather Center. Here to look at a long-range update for Central Plains. And here's my new 7-day forecast template and also animated, which doesn't want to play right now for some reason. But yes, here's my new 7-day forecast. You can see, here it goes, finally starting to load. And you can see the temperature for the next 7 days is going to be cool, okay? Cooler the next 6 days after today, which is Monday, 98 today. But for the rest of the time, 89, 90, 92, 91, 91, 90. Very nice, especially for us here in the Central Plains. And it could be much, much worse here. And here's a drought, also the latest drought monitor. As you can tell, there is a drought for most of Kansas on this map, with the extreme to exceptional drought across northeast Kansas and parts of central to eastern Kansas, with less drought conditions as you head to the west. They found a lot of nice rainfall, and I'll tell you guys, we need the rain for most of us here in Kansas, for the corn, for the soybeans. We need a lot of rain to just get everything going. And it's, as we've had a wet pattern, but it's just not. I mean, what happens is when once Corn State gets wet weather, they get rain. The other part gets nothing. It's just the way the pattern's been the last 6 months. It's just been the way it's been since winter, basically, and it's still a pretty harsh drought. So hopefully we can clear that out for the next, 10 days. But we'll see if we can do that or not. Here's the rainfall forecast in the European, and it's not very rainy. Okay, there's not a lot of rainfall for any of us here in Kansas. Southwest has the most rainfall. Anywhere else is a dry pattern. It's just we're in this kind of pattern now where you're just gonna get the rain north of here, and you're gonna get a ridge kind of stuck here in Kansas for a little bit, but it's just kind of a pattern that we can't break right now. But again, the little bit of rain, it's not a lot. And here's a GFS model, a little bit more aggressive on the rainfall for northeast Kansas. I don't buy in. I buy in more to the. Well, what's happened with GFS? They try to put precip down here in the state, and it goes always north of us, especially in Nebraska. They've got a lot of rain here, and Lincoln, Nebraska, across this area, and it just always goes north. Okay, so GFS, not buying into that, especially with this rainfall, even in the southeast corner of Oklahoma, of Kansas, and northeast corner of Oklahoma. I don't trust it. It's just not a very good model to look at, but it's just an idea. Not a lot of rainfall. What I'm trying to show is not a lot of rainfall in central Kansas, and it's a dry pattern right now. As you can see from the CPC outlooks for the next, this is a 6 to 10 on the top, 8 to 14 on the bottom. Warm over the top and cold across, cooler, not cold, but cooler across the southern United States, Texas, Oklahoma, down across the southern states. Dry pattern across the north states again, and you can see a wetter pattern developing across Texas, which they need the rain. So, I mean, we need the rain here too, but I think Texas needs a little more than us. And then across, and then week 2 outlook, warm across much of the central and eastern United States, with a little bit cool anomalies across the west, southwest, and parts of Texas. And it starts to look like it's going to be a more rainy pattern as you head into week 2. And here's the EPS for the next. This is all the way to 360. So this is going to be the next 2 weeks. And it is starting to show a very wet pattern developing across much of Texas and Oklahoma. I'm trying to get some rainfall here across Kansas. Am I buying into this right now? I'm not. I'm not on 100% into the solution right now, but it is encouraging to see some models showing some rainfall anomalies that are higher up there. Some models are showing rain, some models are showing not a lot more rain. This is one of the models we're showing a lot more rain than what could be expected. So potential for some rainfall, especially as we head to week 2. And the next thing to look at right now, as we head beyond week 2, is the Bering Sea. And what this shows right now, and what I want to touch on before we talk about Bering Sea, is the 18th of August. We're supposed to get a trough moving in because the SOI dropped quite a few degrees, and also there's also conflicting stuff in the models and the pattern. But what we have here is an SOI drop, which correlates to a trough and a cool down. But you also have the AAM, which is the angular atmospheric momentum. And what that shows is when it goes negative, you usually correlate that with the ridge. So we're kind of battling the same between the SOI and the AAM, which is going to win out. And I would like to favor the AAM because we've had more correlations this summer with the AAM going negative. We've had a lot more, not heat per se, but warm anomalies across much of the eastern and central United States. So that's the kind of thing we're going to look out on the week 3 outlook is are we going to get this trough or are we going to get this ridge? Is it going to be warm? Is it going to be cool? If we do get a cool down, it's going to be a 1 to 2 day cool down, and then we'll go back to warm and probably warm for the rest of August. So what this is showing the Bering Sea is a trough moving in. If you correlate this 17 to 21 days out, probably around the end of August as we open up to September. And what's this showing is it's showing, imagine this is the United States, this is the western United States, this is the eastern United States. Basically you have a ridge and you have a trough. So I would watch out for some severe weather across the central United States and in the Ohio Valley for potentially some severe weather. I'm not saying it's going to be an outbreak of severe weather, but this pattern kind of supports, and the Bering Sea supports maybe some severe weather across the Ohio Valley. Now, there could be a severe outbreak, it could be just a couple of serious ones. Time will tell, but again, the pattern kind of supports is right for some severe weather as we head into late August and early September. And here is the week 3 and 4 outlook from the European, and you can see on top and the CFS on the bottom. You see from the European, it's pretty darn warm, toasty. Not as warm as you would expect for August standards, but it's about average, if you ask me. Lower 90s to mid 90s, you can see across this area. So what we have here is warmth. Again, that was shown in the CPC outlook. You have warmth over the top on northern United States. You have cooler anomalies down in Mexico and southern United States. Also, the same thing going on again in the week 4 outlook with warm temperatures, and the CFS again agrees with that. It shows warmer temperatures across most of the United States in the weekend 3 to 4 outlook. So I think the warmth continues as we head through August now, but there is a cool down coming. Okay, September I think offers in a cool down, early frost risk potentially for September, and it is looking cooler. So, and there's a lot of talk just about the solar minimum and everything going on. Yes, you've had a very, very solar minimum. We have 28 days without sunspot. It's a record. But a lot of people are saying, does that correlate with cooler anomalies? It does, but it doesn't mean we're going to have cooler anomalies. There's more drivers to the pattern, just the solar minimum, the sunspots, and everything like that. But there is support for cooler anomalies across the United States. It's particularly from the central to eastern United States with the trough moving in, and I think it's cool down. It will be permanent. Will be very, very hard to get rid of as we head into September, and I would expect there to be some early frost, especially north, probably in Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, possibly up in that area. I think for us here in Nebraska, Kansas, I think frost not as early as we thought last year, but there will be potential for some early season frost in October as we head into the later months potentially. And also, just to show you a brief little preview of my fall forecast of September, and this is what it looks like with a solar minimum in September. You see cooler weather, lower heights across the eastern United States, and a ridge possibility, and higher heights across the western part of the United States. So what this correlates to is some cooler weather again on the tables as we hit December. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to have more info, just contact me on Twitter. And again, have a great August. school is upcoming for me. I'm not very excited for it, but it has to come. Only 2 more years. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of the summer break, and I will see you back in my video. Next video probably will be another little sneak preview of fall, and then it's my fall forecast. So it's time to get excited. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.